Let's throw it to Tay for the latest Lane Kiffin news.
The Lane train, the Lane plane, whatever you want to call it. We do have another update. He is meeting with Ole Miss Athletic Director Keith Carter today. No word yet, Matt, if it is at hot yoga or a more formal meeting. We'll probably get all the deets when they come out. But they want to meet. Obviously, this is Ole Miss's bye week to discuss Lane Kiffin's future and what he plans on doing, whether he's going to stay at Ole Miss, whether he's going to leave. And it says Ole Miss would like an answer before the Rebels face off Mississippi State next Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, obviously, for the Egg Bowl. I mean, we were talking about it a little bit during break. I just kind of feel like if we hear something about that meeting today, it probably means Lane's staying. If we don't hear anything, it doesn't mean he's not staying, but it doesn't mean the contract's on. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at to this point. So, like, if it's quiet, maybe good for LSU fans. If it's not, maybe good for Ole Miss fans.
And
very interesting.
So on the article that Matt wrote on LouisianaSports.net, Moscona, not Flynn, he mentions there are two primary reasons for urgency. First, Kiffin's decision will provide clarity for the College Football Playoff Selection Committee as they consider Ole Miss and their resume. The committee is allowed to consider unavailability of key players and coaches when determining the field. We saw that, a couple years ago, Florida State and Jordan Travis. Second, if Kiffin were to leave for another job, Ole Miss would need to begin its search for a new coach, obviously ASAP, because you've got Penn State, Florida, LSU, Arkansas that have already, been in those conversations, talked to agents, and kind of figured out their pool of coaches that they want to choose from. So,
yeah, that's so interesting. It's such an interesting potential way to play this thing could play out because Ole Miss is at 6 right now in the playoff rankings. Yeah. So even if Lane wasn't there, I don't think that key principle that the playoff committee has, and it's so because there's 4 bullet points there on they select the teams using these processes. One is strength of schedule. One is head-to-head competition. One is comparative outcomes of common opponents. So with other people, comparative opponents, outcomes, and other relevant factors such as unavailability of key players and coaches. Obviously, that would certainly mean your head coach if he wasn't there. But I don't think they would penalize them that much drop them from being at 6 right now. So they would have to be on that. They'd have to be a bubble situation where they lose an SEC championship or something else happens.
Yeah.
But it is an interesting potential way that this whole a hypothetical situation where because it's 4 bullet points that the committee says. It says missing a key player or coach.
Yeah.
And that goes into the decision. So if they're sitting there at 10-11 at the end of this thing and Lane Kiffin leaves, I think that they would probably be out of it.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. Those kids don't deserve that. But it's a super, super intriguing hypothetical situation.
Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out, when it all plays out, when that's going to happen. I just don't think you can allow this to drag out for weeks, right? I mean, it's already like to nauseam, just talking back and forth about this, that, the other, what could happen, what might happen. I think everybody wants, some clarity on the situation, certainly in the days after the Egg Bowl.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's so wild to think that because all these coaching positions at one point came available halfway through the season. So we're so tired of hearing about these searches, and especially the search about a current coach who's trying to make a playoff run, and there's still 2 games left in the regular season, then conference championships, and then the playoffs have a chance to get started.
Yeah.
So there is so much time on this college football season schedule, but people are to the point where you have to know what's happening, even if that means Lane potentially missing out on the last what would that be 6 games of their season?
Either the playoffs, everything,
potentially 6 games. Wow. Not to mention that they are, and if you want to, let's just say hypothetically that Ole Miss tells them, all right, you can keep coaching and keep your options open, whatever. And does LSU wait for him at that point? Because I think right now they're scheduled to host a first-round playoff game. So that means they're going to be a favorite. That means that they'd be the favorite to win that game. So it'd certainly go to a second-round playoff game. And then you're just waiting longer and longer and longer. You think LSU waits? If he is indeed, like, I know everybody's saying it's LSU's first choice, and then it's, what's plan B? He's plan A. What's everybody else's plan B? Like, where's everybody getting that from? It's not coming from Verge. It's not coming from the committee. Like, why? Like, people are talking about so certain that he's plan A for LSU right now. Now, I get it. He's plan A for a lot of fans.
Yeah.
But for LSU, people are talking very certain about, all right, what's plan B if Lane Kiffin doesn't work out?
Right.
How do you know he's not plan B? That's my question.
I definitely think there's a group. There's a group of 4 to 5 coaches that LSU's had discussions, committee, let's get together. Let's talk about all 4 or 5 of these candidates. All right, what do they bring to LSU? Are they the right person for the job? It hasn't just been one name talked about in those meetings. No.
No, yeah. But it's like what I'm hearing and reading from a lot of different media outlets is that, like, what happens if their plan A doesn't work? Do they settle for Dillingham? Do they settle for Drink? Do they do this or that if their plan A doesn't work out? I'm just saying, like, why that hasn't been said from from LSU that he's plan A. He could be plan A and there's 10 other plan A's.
Well,
I don't know. That's why I'm asking the question. Question's got to be asked. I still can't get over the fact that, like, the conversation we had earlier in the week, like, why is he the plan A for everybody? He's at the top of my list. I don't know. He's not standalone at the top of my list. I still can't get over the fact of poor game management, losing games that he shouldn't every single year, except for this one year so far. Can't get over the fact that he went for it on his own 25 and pulled a starting quarterback on the goal line 2 series in that same game. And he seems to do it every year, right? So is he the perfect situation? No. Is he the best coach available? I mean, he's not available right now, but we think he could be. But if you're playing that game, then I don't think he's head and shoulders above every other coach that could be available.
I was looking at the list of guys that Jimmy Sexton represents, as you were saying that, because I wonder how many that are being talked about are all represented by Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's got Kirby. I know he's got Sark. I know he's got Lane, Dan Lanning. I'm trying to see, like,
we're just living in Jimmy Sexton's world.
That's what I'm saying. Is I was trying to see if he's, putting guys against each other, that he represents both of them.
Yeah.
And they're both in the coaching search, and how he's going to try to play that out.
Yeah. It's just so funny. Like, you hear a lot of people saying, talking when we talk about, we keep bringing up Drink just because that's like the most negative thing on somebody that I think is a realistic candidate. They're like, well, he got out coached by this, or this coach that y'all want besides Lane got out coached by so-and-so. Every coach that's available, every coach living has been out coached by somebody, and multiple times. Like, you lose a game, out coached, right? It's like, you're not going to find an undefeated coach out there that has a perfect record against top 25. It was a perfect record against top 5 opponents. I mean, I think we looked at it yesterday. Lane Kiffin's 11-24 against top 25 opponents.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know what people are looking for besides, I guess, like, the biggest thing I've seen on Drink is that he's just a nerd. Well, LSU lost to some nerds this year in Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. That's the biggest hit I can. Besides his comments last week about you can't expect to make the playoffs every single year.
That's
like,
the one thing
mathematically.
For sure. Yeah.
That's the one bad thing. But the second is that he's a nerd.
Yeah, which
I don't know if it's true.
No, I mean, I've known Eli for a long time. I don't think that.
Is it the glasses?
I don't think people know his real personality, and they get to know it if he was here. But I would not describe him like the way that he's being described. No.
See some contacts.
I can tell you, I saw a comment about Kenny Dillingham got out coached by Levy. Well, he beat Levy last year. Levy beat him this year.
Dillingham got out coached by Levy. I mean, who hadn't? Who amongst
Your guy.
us? My guy.
Your guy.
Everybody gets out coached. Come on.
Lane lost to Mark Stoops last year.
Yep.
Also, just
And
because
Brian
you
Kelly.
lose a game, like define being out-coached. What does that mean?
I don't know.
If you coach a great game and your quarterback throws 4 interceptions, did you get out-coached?
Guess what? Lane got out coached by Brian Kelly last year.
Lost the game. Yeah.
And he gone.